I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. It was one of my biggest franchises as a kid and it continues to inspire me. I definitely find the most enjoyment from the middle section of the series, but that's not to say the earlier seasons don't have their own merits. And I want to do something for at least a little bit for each season. Like, if I had the chance to do it different, what would I do? Starting all the way back to Mighty Morphin. We begin the series with astronauts taking off to the moon. It's pretty clear blue skies in the moon, and Mars is looking really close. Hey, what's that thing? Looks like a big fancy dumpster or trash can or something. Opening it probably won't cause 30 years of problems.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
But first, sending those astronauts backpacking. Cutting to Angel Grove's youth center. They happen in place in town with tons of people. One of the people includes this guy, Billy, who's sitting by himself, messing with a thing on a table, listening to his radio about what just happened with the astronauts. Right after that establishment, we cut back to Rita Repulsa, who's spying on the planet, yelling at Finster to hurry up with those putties, and the cities on this planet have gotten even bigger since last time we were here. I want the palace bigger. Coming back to the youth center, and we see two bullies, Bulk and Skull, picking on Billy for just sitting there like a nerd with that thing he tries explaining with big words, but they don't understand what that is, so they just try taking it for themselves. Three kids, Zach, Kimberly, and Trini, try getting him to stop, but the guys are like, yeah, whatever, we can take you. Then the girls flip the two, and when the two hit the ground, it suddenly starts earthquaking. We cut somewhere else when we see a bunch of lights start up.
It's Rita. She's escaped. It's time to assemble a new team of heroes. The most energetic and unstoppable group that exemplifies the enduring human spirit.
Not teenagers!
That's correct, Alpha. Get me 5 kids with talent and attitude and get them now.
One kid named Jason tries calming the situation and says that everyone has to stick together during this earthquake. And then suddenly they get teleported away to the chamber that the others were in. The head of the two reappears and he introduces himself as Zordon of Eltar, and his robot friend is Alpha 5. And you 5 have been chosen as the best examples of humanity to be the champions of this world against the evil Rita Repulsa, who is quite literally stealing buildings to make sure her palace is bigger. Explain that Rita is an ancient witch from 10,000 years ago, being a member of the United Alliance of Evil, but a United Alliance of Good was able to push them back and imprison them for so long, and the main people behind this are the Power Rangers, using the power of dinosaurs. And Zorn believes that these 5 are the best examples for the new Rangers to save the world. Billy's fascinated about all this technology. Jason believes it can help people he'll gladly accept. Zach thinks it's pretty cool. Well, the girls think this is totally bogus, and Billy also starts realizing it will get him hurt, so they try leaving. But Rita was spying on them, and she recognizes those belts anywhere, so sends her foot soldiers, the clay golem-like putties, to try and capture them. After getting tossed around a little, Jason remembers that these things can help them be better.
Let's do it! Mastodon!
Pterodactyl!
Triceratops!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Tyrannosaurus!
So now transformed, they have a more even feel and start kicking some butt. Well, until Rita sends a giant monster, which grabs Jason. He's able to escape, and also Zordon sends a Zord, a giant mechanical T-Rex, which is able to destroy the monster, which makes Rita very unhappy. Maybe this whole Power Ranger thing isn't so bogus after all. As Finster starts designing more monsters to bring to life, the next episode reveals that everyone has mechanical dinosaurs. They have to go on a big quest to find the lost Zord crystals, and interfacing with them can have the Zords combined into the Megazord. There's also a reference that there used to be a green emerald crystal, but it's been lost. And the crystals can also turn into motorcycles for everyone. Well, Kimberly and Billy have to share a ride because pterodactyls aren't that fast. Trini and Zach have to share a ride because mastodons aren't that fast. They can't just teleport everywhere, energy don't grow on trees. Explaining the cast, we have Jason, the red Tyrannosaurus Ranger, who's stoic and always willing to help. Maybe a little too willing, he's gotta learn to stop stressing out and having to do everything. Billy, the blue Triceratops Ranger. He's the classic Poindexter, know-it-all, casually builds a flying car kind of guy. He can hardly fight unmorphed, and he gets constantly picked on by Bulk and Skull. So he starts training with Jason. Bulk's also in that class to try and pick up babes. And both find out that martial arts are not that easy to learn. Billy thinks he's a little too strenuous, so he tries training with Zack, who has hip-hop Aikido. It's effective, but Billy thinks it's a little too free-flowing for him, learning to try and train with both styles in a way that suits himself. Trini, the yellow saber-toothed tiger ranger. She's tough and no-nonsense. A little too no-nonsense, but with the help of Jason, she opens up more and more. With Jason, they both learn that you don't have to try so hard with everything. Failure is not a weakness, and you shouldn't always be worried that you look weak. And by the end of the series, they start dating. Zack, the chill jokester of the team, who's gotta learn that it's okay to joke around, but also gotta have serious moments. Keep trying, and maybe the ladies might like him. Kimberly, the pink Pterosaurus Ranger. She's a typical valley girl who's a little self-centered and learns to care more about others. Skull and Bulk are punk bullies who like picking on Billy because he's easy. But as the series goes on, they start admiring the Rangers for who they are and saving people. Unlike those goody two-shoot tryhards from class. Imagine. Yeah, get one, Bulky. Shut up. Skull also definitely has a one-sided crush on Kimberly. The two even have an episode where they become temporary Rangers. They have troubles piloting the Megazord, but are able to distract the monster enough for the Rangers to escape, and later Bulk and Skull think that was just a crazy dream they had. Rita repulses the evil sorceress, who might be a little over the top, but is sinister. Her two scouts are Squat and Baboon. Squat's the big blue orc who's working for Rita because hopefully she'll make him smarter. Well, Babu is this vampire-looking guy who might not be as smart as he likes to brag about to others, but he's still an alchemist who creates quite a lot of potions that mess with the Rangers. And he's working for Rita to secure his place in an evil future. Finster is the sculptor of monsters who hopes Rita will help him restore his extinct species. He's not inherently evil, but he is still working for the bad guys. And like every struggling artist, it takes him a while to come up with new designs, which is why they don't send monsters every day. Goldar is Rita's #1 minion. He's strong and loyal to a T, doing it mostly for fun, but also to gain the approval of Scorpina, another general who's freed from a prison on Earth. She likes Goldar back, but she's all business, being Rita's #1 spy, disguising herself as a teen to go spy on the Rangers. It all gets shaken up in episode 17 where we meet Tommy Oliver, the new kid in town that's just as strong as Jason, who doesn't take crap from Bulk and Skull. Plus, Squat found a thing in the palace, which turns out to be the missing coin, which Rita finds excellent because they were also able to discover the Sword of Darkness, and using some dark energy from her Dark Master and a potion from Babu, they're able to take over the mind of Tommy and give him the coin.
Dragon Sword! Dragon Sword! Green Ranger power!
Becoming the new Power Ranger, and he absolutely just walks over everyone else, even sneaking into the Megazord and thrashing it. Everyone's confused and kind of scared about this new Ranger, so Zordon has to explain something. That Zordon was one of the original Power Rangers, as well as Rita. She used to be part of long ago, fighting the evil forces of Dark Spectre and the original United Alliance, until his team was able to destroy his original avatar and banish him within the darkest depths of the underworld. And with the help from another ally, in 2 seasons, they're able to upgrade their powers to that of dinosaurs to fight off more of Dark Spectre's forces. But his evil influence corrupted Rita, who was his original Green Ranger, to betray his team. He was able to banish her within the Altarian dumpster, but not before she was able to send out a blast trapping his body in the time warp and his soul within the Morphin grid. Which is unfortunate because the Green Ranger powers has the Dragon Shield, with the ultimate dinosaur's power making him stronger, be able to regenerate, and hopefully it's not made out of felt. One of the most powerful Zords, the Dragon Zord, this big Mechagodzilla looking thing, being controlled by a Dragon Dagger flute. Tommy rampages even through the command center, but with all the Rangers' powers they're able to purify the Sword of Darkness into the Sword of Light and break the spell on Tommy. Eventually Tommy joins the team. He's a little standoffish and very repentive over what he did, but he's a natural-born leader and very kind, which Kimberly really likes. Insert most of Zhu 2 here. Like the episode with the evil clam, and he has a toxic spray that hits Zack, and it turns out that Tommy's able to transfer the dragon shield to others. And Rita found stronger clay to make her forces tougher. From this remote island, which a lot of people are saying has a big brachiosaurus on it, which Zordon recognizes because long ago the Morphing Masters hid away 2 eggs. One became the Dragon Zord, and the other one became the Great Titanus. So the Rangers make it there, but it turns out they have to prove themselves to Titanus, but they are granted Thunderslingers for their good actions so far. But Rita knows it is Halloween, the day where the barrier between the worlds are the most thin. So during the Megazord fight, Rita is able to kidnap a bunch of kids, put them into a pillar, and says an evil incantation. I summon you, the terrible Shogun of Evil! I summon thee, the specter within the dark, the one who goes bump in the night, Lokar! Teleporting Earthside to boast to the Rangers and continue the spell, saying the evil blasphemous name.
Beware the terror of Lokar!
Everyone's stunned that it actually worked. Dark Spectre is able to project himself within reality. Zordon says the Rangers have to destroy the monster now. They cannot give Dark Spectre an avatar into this world. But it's too late. Upgrading the monster and using its powers to send the Rangers into the underworld. But by working together, they're able to escape, which proves themselves to Titanus, who ends up helping them. So all the Zords combine, and then combine with Titanus to form the Ultra Zord, defeating the monster and sending Dark Spectre back. Later, it even turns out the Dragon Zord can combine with individual Zords to make its own Megazord. But Rita has a new plan. With Dark Spectre's help, she's able to use her morphing energy to create the green candle. As soon as it burns out, the Green Ranger powers will be sent to Dark Spectre. Jason tries stopping it, but he's too late. But before it gets completely burned away, Tommy grants the Dragon Shield to Jason. Tommy will still be around, but he's only able to turn to the Green Ranger for a very short amount of time. This kind of gives Jason a bit of a chip on his shoulder that he feels like he could have done more to help. During another fight with a monster, they're able to steal one of the Thunderslingers, and it turns out Rita did another pillar to summon Dark Spectre. But Finster is also able to take some of the energy from the Thunderslinger and design a whole Megazord for Dark Spectre, creating the Talos Megazord. That has the power of an Ultra Zord, so he's able to take on the Megazord and Dragon Zord pretty easily, and they get captured, which depowers everyone so Dark Spectre is able to rampage. Jason feels like it's all his fault, but with the power of friendship and Trini, he's able to overcome it. So they come up with a plan to sneak into Rita's palace, where it turns out that the Zords are being held in giant bubbles. So the girls stay on Earth helping people as the guys sneak into the palace, but Goldar and Scorpina are there guarding the Zords, so there's a big epic unmorphed fight. But Jason's able to finally pop the bubbles, rescuing the Zords and their powers. They thrash the Talos, forming the Ultra Zord to blast Dark Spectre back into the underworld. And he's done messing around with Rita, calling in a more trusted ally.
Oh no! Where is he? Where is he?
I am Lord Zed, Emperor of all I see. You have failed to complete the mission assigned to you. I will now resume command.
Leaving the season on a cliffhanger. Let me know what you thought down below, as well as hitting the like button, commenting any thoughts and opinions, and subscribing if you're new.